Hi, I'm Alekos. I'm a Diamond Ashe main with over 400 games, and this is my Wits End Ashe guide, and everything that you need to know about this new build will be right here. Now, to start with this guide, you may be wondering, why Wits End? Why are people building it? To put it simply, I'm not going to really go into any of the numbers. This item just hits the hardest out of any other item. It's just the most overloaded OP item. It gives you durability and tons of damage. It feels like it gives more damage than any other item, at least as a single item. Plus the durability is nice, plus movement speed. It's just an all-around great item. For the Ashe build, you want to get Wits End first, and then Shield Bow, Runaan's Rage Blade, and then situational items. Now, if you feel like going Shield Bow won't give your team enough damage, you can always go Kraken Slayer, Rage Blade. But if you go Kraken Slayer, do not go Runaan's. I'll explain this in a clip coming after. And for the situational items, just make sure it doesn't have attack speed because your build already has so much attack speed, you really don't need any more. Just focus on either durability or more damage. It really doesn't matter what you buy. This build is so efficient in 4 items with Shield Bow that you really don't need to pay attention to what you build after. Now, if you're against a full AD team, maybe switch out Wits End for the Blade of the Rune King. But even if there is only one AP champion, only one AP threat, I would recommend getting the Wits End because the durability really isn't why you buy the item. You buy the item because it's very efficient to buy first. It gives you damage and on hit, all of these amazing stats. And then for boots, you can get them before or after Wits End. I prefer getting them first. That's just my preference. But yeah, this build's really simple, but this took me a lot of testing to really iron out where everything goes. I've tried Wits End third and all of these other places. I've tried out other items for some items. This is the build that I found gives me the most success, and I hope you guys can try it out for yourselves and find success with this build as well. So I thought it would be better to show how the build interacts with itself in a practice tool game. So the first item that you're probably going to get is Wits End. Where's that? Oh, it's not immediately here. Yeah, so you get Wits End, and if we spawn in a dummy, you see it applies that 15 on hit. Well, it increases with level, so let's increase my level really quick. Now it's like 42, okay? And this on hit is kind of important, so like I said, it mixes up your damage, but it also makes lifesteal better, and it makes Runaan's better. So just for Runaan's in particular, we'll start off with that because I feel like that's more impactful than it is with lifesteal in my opinion. So if we spawn, actually these might be too far away from each other. We'll just spawn one right here. So if we spawn in these dummies, we see the 41. I guess it rounds up to 42 on here, but it's 41 on here. The 41 goes to all 3. But if you were doing a standard crit build, all of your autos, all of the bolts would just be reduced to that 49 damage that we see here. Which I think is like 70% AD. I could be wrong. I think it shows the numbers in here. Oh, 40%. Yeah, so it's even worse than I thought. So yeah, that's why you see Runaan's now, because you have Wits End, and that on hit doesn't get reduced. And that's even more impactful because whenever you get Shield Bow, the typically best Zeal item to get is Runaan's, because you lifesteal off of the bolts as well. And since lifesteal now works with on hit with the new season items, you fully lifesteal off of this 41 now as well. So you just get a lot more healing out of this item than you would before. And of course, if you're taking Hailed Blades, you don't have Bloodlines, so you don't get as much lifesteal as you could get if you took Lethal Tempo. But that's how the build interacts with itself. And then once you get Rage Blade, the same thing happens. You gain the on hit. This 120, it stays to all of them. So the main target you're hitting isn't even, like, you're not even doing that much more damage. Like, of course you are doing more, but every hit still does really good damage on the other two, because your first auto like your auto attack before all the on-hit isn't what's doing most of the damage in this build, which is why you see these 3 items get built so much. And then obviously Rage Blade just to top it all off. So Hail of Blades has caused a bit of a divide between the Ashe mains, where some people really like Lethal Tempo, they swear by it, and some people really like Hail of Blades, and they think it's new technology that everyone should use. Now, at the end of the day, it's more of a preference thing, whichever rune you take, but both runes have their pros and cons. So Hail of Blades is more of a landing phase oriented rune, where you get burst damage, cheap shot, and you can stack up your Q focus faster. Those are really good things. Also, it's an extremely simple rune to use, especially compared to Lethal Tempo. There's no accidentally proccing it. And my favorite thing about it is it's basically 3 autos and you're done. So if you ever want to punish the enemy, you just hit them. You can punish them harder with this rune, and you don't have to overthink it at all. That's my favorite thing about this rune. Now, it also comes with the cons where you get potential mana issues because you don't have Presence of Mind, and whenever your volley gets on a 4-second cooldown late game, you're likely going to run out of mana unless if you are extremely careful with it. And also, late game, you have less damage because it's more of a burst rune, and you only get 3 autos worth of damage. Now, with Lethal Tempo, this is a more mid/late game rune. It gives you higher sustained DPS. Also, it gives you Presence of Mind, which is almost as valuable as Lethal Tempo itself. You basically can't run out of mana with this rune. You can spam W all you want. And you get Bloodline, which is also a big thing, especially now that it's on-hit Ashe. Lifesteal is much better with on-hit. Also with Runan's, lifesteal is better. And it's better late. So if you're against tanks or just people who are going to build HP and armor late game, you're going to have a better time because you can spec into cut down and you get that sustained DPS. Now, with that, it's worse in lane and you get less snowball because it's not Hail of Blades. So at the end of the day, either one is good. How I switch between the runes, I basically look, okay, is the enemy team all squishies? Do they not have that many tanks? Can I maybe snowball in lane? Is the enemy ADC significantly lower range than me so I can punish them more? That's whenever I take Hail of Blades. If not, if they have tanks, if I feel like I need all those autos, if I feel like I need mana or bloodline or cut down, I take Lethal Tempo. So Hail of Blades is really good because of how it works with the Q stacks. So I'm gonna quickly get to 0. And then we'll see it pretty much instantly get up to 3. And then you get the 4th one obviously afterwards. But let's say if you weren't at 0, so let's try to keep it up at like 2. Yeah, okay, so we're at 3. And then we have 4 autos that are faster because of the auto reset. So yeah, the Hail of Blades works better with Q. That's one of the main advantages that I see from it. But again, it is mainly just preference. So that concludes my Wits End Ashe guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it and could take away a few things from it. If you enjoyed this video and haven't checked out my full-length Ashe guide, I will leave that in the description below, as well as my Twitch if you want to see me on my climb to master. But yeah, thanks for watching.